Hello, my lovelies. Hello, hello, hello. We're live. I'm slightly befuddled, but it's for good reasons. I was doing some editing on some more shorts. Thanks for those who watched and reacted to the first clip of many Blathering live minisodes. Not Minnesota, minisodes that are going to be available on YouTube, Instagram, and TikTok. Just follow me, my dumb name, and you'll get them on those things and help us spread the word of the wonderful things we do over here. Wonderful things made possible by all of you, people like James Holmes, Jared the Pilot, or we sometimes call him Jared. Mandalorian Jedi is here with a big hello. Michael McCarthy's trying to make it or before he sees Superman. Christopher Watts is here. Romo, we call her Romo. Lauren Romo, host of the Galactic Podcast, is here. And then don't forget Brennan Page Turner's They Were Not is his podcast name and his username. Hello. He's here. Maddie Gunner's checking in. G'day. I get to see Maddie Gunner in person. Maddie Gunner is coming to the States. At least we hope. Who knows what will happen at the borders of our country when Maddie tries to land and they look over his social. Maddie, if you need help, call someone. I'm no good. I'm no lawyer, and it's going to be a while for me to get down to LAX. Hey, Svetnik's here as well. Roger's here. Roger, indeed. We're going to get into it's a loosey-goosey show tonight. We got some calls. Addie is off. Remember, Dr. Addie, off from a job that's volunteer for legal reasons. I'll say that. No science tonight. She is traveling, well-deserved vacation. So when she hears later, let her all know how much we missed her science, but we're happy she's out there enjoying the world. Adam Knight is here as well. Maddie Gunner says, they got global entry. They can suck it. Well, with that attitude, be careful, okay? They're going to review all comments and posts from you. Bottom of the hour, Jared the Pilot and I are going to talk some Game of Thrones as we continue our Game of Thrones de facto rewatch, and we clip those out and put them up on Casterly Talk. Sports at the top of the hour, 56 days to the NFL season. We're counting down. We got calls. And then whether he's here or not, because he might be in a movie, we're going to see. But our buddy Ken Plume, friend of the show, previous guest, my Fortnite buddy, it's his birthday today, and he's out and about, taking himself out for a nice dinner and a movie. Seeing the Superman picture. So I hopefully Ken will be able to call in later, but we're going to celebrate his birthday with or without him. We're going to celebrate his birthday. Quickly at the top there, I put out a rather just kind of impromptu short video on my platforms talking about the Superman picture, the 2025 Superman that is out now. No spoilers here from me if you haven't seen it. Jared the Pilot has seen it, says it was awesome, and I loved it too, had a great time. And I put something out that was pretty simple and direct, just saying I found the film to be irreverent, heartfelt, and very political. And I went into the reasons why. You can check that out. But in a nutshell, it's just political in what its beliefs are, not in what it's talking about, not in just the direct connections to our world. And there are many very funny ones as well. I don't even want to spoil those for those who haven't seen it. But it's very good in what it does. But that's the thing to me. Politics are the ideas. They are empathy and kindness and caring and wanting to help, no matter what your position or no matter what your power is. That's political to me, and that is always the case. And art will always be political because of that. Even art that isn't overtly political or that does not try to strike a political chord, I'd say is political. Even something like this, when we go into a silly segment here, and we love our silly segments, and we're going to have a lot more silly segments, if we're not, implicitly, bringing up and talking about politics, that's a choice to not be political in that segment, which is okay. I think that's one thing I want people to understand. Like, I'm not saying every word out of my mouth needs to be of a political nature out there to affect the world and change minds or state my case. That's just not the way it works. And I think Superman is very well balanced. I think it's got a lot of romance, got a lot of love, got a lot of comedy, got a lot of action. It's got everything. Just all through it are the themes of kindness, caring, empathy, and those are political by nature. And I will say, when I put the video out, you're always worried. What are you going to get back? It's a lot easier for me than other folks, white, straight male on the internet. I live a pretty charmed life. And actually, I will say most of the responses were fine. And even a couple of the negative comments I got back, weren't completely bad. No one insulted me. No one yelled at me. They just kind of said some silly things, and I just either ignored them. I think I blocked one. Just not even for something they said to me. It's just like, yeah, we don't need you here. It's okay. You can go now. But someone's just said, and I don't even think they meant it to be completely, I don't know, angry. It was a frustration. It was like, man, why does everything have to be political? I miss when we would just watch movies and the entertainment will wash over you. And look, there's some value in that. And I always want to be sure. Again, we do silly things here, even as the world's on fire. But I cannot believe that in 2025, we still have to have this conversation that art is political. Superman has been political since 1938. The 1978 Christopher Reeve Superman, very political. Maybe not in a way that was easily deciphered by you as a kid seeing it growing up, but it was there. Much like Star Wars, and everyone goes with that example. The original trilogy isn't dripping in overt politics. It's just there. It's present. It's behind George. And years later, George would talk ad nauseum about it, and that just means it's always there. But yeah, he also put Ewoks in it. He also put comedy. It was also a Flash Gordon serial. It was also a Saturday morning serial. It's all there. But it's always been that way. And this is why it frustrates me / amuses me that every couple years, the example I go to a lot is why every couple years we have to go through the cycle where people learn that the son of New Jersey, Bruce Springsteen, is not only political, but he's progressively political. Why do we have to go through the cycle every 2 years? Folks, I'll say mostly conservative, but not necessarily everyone conservative, has this kind of, what are you saying? Get that out of here realization about Bruce Springsteen, who in the mid-90s released an album, The Ghost of Tom Joad, that is all about class warfare, the Depression era state of our world, and the state of the workers, the state of the farmers, the state of the people. It's an entire album that when Bruce Springsteen went out on tour for an acoustic version of his big show, and he did Ghost of Tom Joad from track 1 to the end of the track, he would tell people, don't clap to the end. Don't clap to the end. These songs need to be received. Why do we have to go through that? Is it just simply because Ronald Reagan played Born to Run during his 1984 political, presidential reelection campaign, and that's it? You all thought Bruce Springsteen was Lee Greenwood? That you just heard the chorus and did not pick up on its themes? It's also fascinating that those folks out there who are aggressively, thank you for your service, we must treat everyone like this, which, by the way, yes, thank you for your service and those in the military, but it's stunning that those folks will use a song like Born to Run. I just saw this today online. We'll use use Born to Run in a Instagram reel to own the libs about not celebrating 4th of July. These are the, folks, protect and serve folks. And this is the song, Born to Run, that is a war protest song. That is a song about soldiers coming home and not getting the care they deserved after fighting for our country. It is a song about our broken medical system in 1984, and it hasn't gotten better. Why do we have to go through this every single time? It all boils down to those comments. If I just want to watch Superman, yeah, you will be able to. You don't have to engage with it. That's your choice. You haven't engaged before. I'm guessing you're not going to engage with it going forward. But in 2025, I'm just sick of having the conversation about art being political. So I hope you all enjoyed my review. And more importantly, I hope you enjoy Superman. And I hope you enjoy the politics of Superman, the things that should fuel your beliefs, make our policies, and find our true north with. Those are the beliefs that are about kindness, empathy, and caring, and wanting to help. So enjoy Superman out there. All right. What, the boss? I know. The boss is David McKay. Svetnik, are you saying that Born on 4th of July isn't Run, Run, Run America song? But they play it every 4th of July. Yeah. Yeah, it's. I get it. No one sits you down growing up. No one sits you down and says, "All right, you need to engage with the art here." Okay, you're a Springsteen fan. All right. You need to talk about the song's meanings. No, it's got a great catchy chorus. It's got a great catchy beat. The boss knows how to write a song. This we know. I get it, but why now? Why as adults? And why do I still have to hear? Oh, why are you making it all political? When that's, for the most part, the point of art. All right, we're going to go on here. I think we're going to bring in producer Steve. Yeah, we're going to bring in producer Steve. I pressed the button, so he's here. Steve, how are you?
Press the button, I appear. Hello, Ken. Thank you, as always, for having me. Hello, everyone. Happy Thursday.
Happy Thursday. Favorite Lee Greenwood song?
Oh, don't do that to me. I can't. I got
Proud to be an American.
Sure. I don't think I can name another Lee Greenwood song.
I don't think anyone can either. I don't think Lee Greenwood. I don't think Lee Greenwood can name one of the songs there. Anyways, yeah. Hey, buddy. We got the Blathering Minisodes. I'm going to say it like Minnesota the entire time. Minisodes. They're out. Thanks for putting those together. That was a great questions from our Blathering community that make that happen. So shout out to those who submitted questions. You can do that on the YouTube membership page or on Patreon, patreon.com/Napzok. Michael McCarson says Lee Greenwood hasn't sung a different song since 9/11. That is true. Lauren Roma says, who's Lee Greenwood? And that's okay. I am actually, normally we'd give Brady a lot of crap for that. Romo gets a pass because I don't, even if Brady was here and he's like, I don't know who Lee Greenwood is, I'd be like, you're my hero. You don't need to know who Lee Greenwood is.
No, that's fair. I wouldn't dog Brady at all for that. He's not in the demo, so to speak, from being, born this century, is what I'm assuming with Brady, or at least close to it.
Born this century. Oh, look at this. Speaking of birthday boys, look at this someone must have hit it big at the video blackjack. Mark Ellis checking in from Las Vegas. He just fired a 77 at Royal Red Rocks Golf Club, so I'm feeling generous. Who are these guys? Where are the squirrels? I'm here for the squirrels. Yeah, that's one problem. I just loaded up the next squirrel moment of Zen for Saturday, and I'm like, what if these blow up and everyone keeps coming to this channel and they're like, who's this fuck talking about politics and movies? I want the squirrel guy. So Mark might be predicting our future here. Happy belated birthday. Yeah. Oh, sorry. Dave McKay's right. Lee Greenwood did several versions of a song. He did God Bless You Canada. It seems at one point, if you look at it, Lee Greenwood was like, I'm just going to sing a bunch of songs about countries until one hits.
He's a traitor. You can't. Yeah. No, you don't get this. No, that's bullshit. I'm sorry. You don't get to, right? You pick one song, you get to, like, John Denver doesn't get to write, well, I guess he kind of did write Country Roads for, like, multiple places, but you don't get,
and he wasn't necessarily country boy. That's a
right.
little bit of fun.
No, I get it, but I'm just mean, like, in that vein of things, right? Like, no, you don't get to be Mr. Unless you're Pitbull. Pitbull is the only person who gets an excuse. He's Mr. Worldwide.
Mr. Miami, right? Is he in Miami?
Yes, he's in Miami.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. Okay. I got that. I'm hip. Tucka. First of all, okay. So Mark Ellis is in Las Vegas. He does this. Do you have friends like this? I consider Mark one of my closest, dearest friends. I don't even know if he knows my middle name, but he takes himself someplace for his birthday. He doesn't celebrate his birthday with human beings, Steve. And he's working in Vegas, to be clear. He's at the Brad Garrett Comedy Club. So if you're all out there, check out Mark. You all should have seen him by now. And if not, here's your chance. But do you know anyone, or are you someone who just disappears on their birthday?
I'm not that guy. I do have a friend who does that, who has been kind of our friend who's been, just a career bachelor his whole life, never had a girlfriend for more than about a week and a half. The girl he brought to my wedding wore white. So that was a fun one.
Just like which one of the Kylie or Kelsey or
yeah, it was one. Yes, Coolio, it was Kylie, I believe. I'm employed and I know that, but yes, it was Kylie. So this is one of my best friends from childhood, and he is like a career professional bachelor. We've told him he should get on the actual Bachelor, all this kind of stuff. But he is the guy who would fly out to Vegas to just play golf on his birthday, go to the casino, and take a red eye home and not tell anybody. He also famously told me once that he needed to give me a month in advance if I wanted to hang out, because that's how busy and cool he is.
I mean, look, I asked for a week with some folks, but not because I'm busy, just because I'm like, I got to decide what pants or no pants that night. Just give me a heads up.
You need a week? You need a week to decide if you're going to wear pants a week out?
I'm just like if you live in
town. You can make the pants, Ken?
Right. Yeah, I weave. I have a loom. Case in point, Matty Gunner's coming to town. He's getting on the old what's that plane they used to have in Europe? The fancy one,
the Concorde.
The Concorde that would take off and destroy houses like beneath everyone.
Yeah,
like everyone's like,
it would get to New York and like
Milwaukee birdie play. Windows gone.
But you'd get to New York in like 3.5 hours. So
yes, yeah. No, I wish we figured it out. I totally agree with you. But he's getting on the Concorde. He's heading over here. And, I'll give him credit. About a week ago or so, he was like, hey, mate, I'm flying out there. Love to hang out with you. He gave me a date. He said Friday's the night I'm kind of free. Our pal Nikki Kumar's going to join. And, I couldn't commit because I was like, look, I might get booked to Flappers. I don't know. Usually I get booked on Tuesday nights. And so I didn't. And so today, here's what happened. Today, I was like, Nikki, Maddie, I'm free. Let's get some dinner. Let's set a time. Let's do it. And then they both confirmed. And within 5 minutes, I got 2 shows at Flappers and I had to cancel dinner. So that's why, Steve, I even need maybe a month. Maybe I'm your friend.
Well, okay. Well, I haven't heard about the golf scores from Vegas, you alone. And just for the record, that a 77 is super impressive. I wanted to make a jab and be like, was that at Golden Tee or the actual course? But I've heard Mark is a very good golfer, so do I believe him or not?
Let me ask you this. Do you believe him?
I mean, based on previous conversations you've had, a 77? I don't know. Do I think Mark is capable of shooting a 77? Maybe for this instance that he shoot a 77. I don't know. Maybe it just sounds good for the donation. I don't know. I don't know how much you want to pull back the curtain.
I'll tell you this. I believe him. He is a good golfer. I've been to the driving range with him.
Good.
But he's only now recently, and by the way, he's not still here watching.
I'm sure that's why I had the confidence to say that because I didn't.
He fucked off. He's probably taking a nap right now.
Right. And for the record, just in case he is on the rotation of my TV of all my Google photos from Star Wars Celebration when I saw the show. We did like the meet and greet thing, just like you, Ken. You're in the same rotation thing.
Oh,
so, Mark is
okay.
on my living room TV once every 20 minutes.
That's sweet. That's sweet. He's just recently started actually keeping score. Before it was all in his head. So I don't believe a lot of things he said before like a month ago.
So okay. How long has he been golfing? Do you know?
Often, for the last year or two, he's been back into it. And then he had golfed years ago, stopped for a long time. And then Josh McCouga made fun of him at a Top Golf. And Mark was like, I'll show you. And now he's almost, I'd say he's actually at Top Golf. They were neck and neck. Josh may have won by a stroke or something, giggity, but like they were neck and neck.
All right, speaking of Top Golf, that's a great segue for the next thing I want to talk about. But
okay.
I'm just going to say a 77 for someone who just got back into it a year ago plays. Mm-hmm. That's really, really good. So that's good. Really a 77, Ken. That's really, really good.
Yeah. I think I broke 100 once.
Yeah. So to do that just kind of all willy nilly after a year, okay. And then Ellis is an athlete. Good for him. I believe.
Laserbolt. Sorry, I heard Ellis is amazing basketball. He was a Comedy Store basketball team champion twice over.
Wow.
I think.
Wow.
A couple of comments here, and then we'll Old Hanshouse here, and he's right about this. He says, "Give me some Neil Diamond over Lee Greenwood. If you want an American song, a song to sing to make you proud about this country, it's coming to America. Everybody around the world, they're coming to America." No,
that's a good one. It's fine.
Don't you besmirch Brother Neil.
I'm not besmirching
Brother Neil in front of me.
I'm not besmirching anyone. It's just hard for me to be excited about patriotic songs right now, Ken. That's all. That's just.
I agree with you, but Neil's is on the right side of history.
Sure. Yeah. No. There's
on the boats and on the planes.
Not wrong at all.
They're coming to America. Okay. Michael McCarthy says, all I'm hearing is that for Ken to get a ton of stand-up gigs, he needs to just make plans with a bunch of people. He'll get booked. Yeah. Pretty much. Also, Laserbolt, I saw this out of the corner of my eye. Laserbolt says, not the Concorde, it's just Concorde. And I was going to be like, I don't give up. And then I was like, it's Laserbolt. Dude knows planes. So it's 100% right. And we should duly note ourselves there. They're like Eagles. It's not the Eagles. It's Eagles. All right. Did you know that when you have conversations with your dad about the band Eagles? Do you know that
he calls them the Eagles. My dad's a poser in many ways, so we'll get to that later, though.
Okay, same with the band Eels, not the Eels. All right, are we off and running tonight?
I think so. That'd be a good list. Top 5 things that have thes but shouldn't. I would actually be interested in that.
I agree.
Ukraine is one of those.
Yeah. Though, sometimes I might say the Ukraine. Yeah,
I thought you weren't supposed to do that though. I knew someone in college who's Ukrainian who was like, "Don't say." He corrected me on it. And I felt like a total asshole.
He's right, but just sometimes but it's like with a capital T. It's like a band.
Right. No. Okay. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah.
It's like Zelensky's band.
I remember that so much, Ken, because I remember as soon as I did that, I bit into a Sbarro Stromboli because we were at lunch in college, and I burned the shit out of my tongue, and I was like, "That's your punishment.
That's your punishment
for being an asshole." So now I remembered forever. It's Ukraine, not
Big Lou points out ATM machine. Yeah, that's a good one. The ATM machine. Absolutely. Kyle Harlow says people from Philadelphia call them Eagles. Do you call them the Eagles?
I only call them the Eagles when they suck.
I like that.
Yeah,
I like that.
But it's
Kingsport Cow says out there in Tennessee, we say the Walmart. Does that count? Yeah, that's the
okay.
other side of it, right?
That's a good one. The Walmart. I like the Walmart though. We're going to the Walmart. That just makes it sound so much better than it actually is. You know, the Facebook was a thing before they said drop the right. God, this is actually a pretty good one. I thought we stumbled across.
Do you know that that's one of the coolest things about me? I was on Facebook when it was the Facebook.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Wow.
You know why? I was dating too young of a girl.
So you're like, hey, let me get an invite to what the kids are doing.
She was in college. I was 30, and I got in.
So, is there a chance you may have been? You're at least in the top 100 people, maybe at it. What year was this, Ken? 2004.
I was like 5.
Okay, so maybe you were in the top 100 oldest people on Facebook. If you had to have a .edu address, you know, I'm sure there's some grad students, but you know.
Yeah, it's amazing. Yeah, Dave. All right, calm down, Dave. It was above the board, Mackay. She was 20. All right.
No judgment.
You youngsters. Let's take a call. You want to take a call?
Let's do it.
Let's do a call. I got to make sure I get the right call. We keep doing this. What do I do every week? Every week I'm like, damn it, I gotta fix my thing so that we can do this right. And then I don't do it. Where? Oh gosh, there it is. See? Woo!
Okay, very nice.
And I'm gonna forget to do this until about 4:59 on Saturday. Or 3:59. Lauren Romo's saying my story's probably somewhat false. I'm probably speeding up. 2003 is the when Facebook. So maybe I was just Facebook, but I was in there with a bunch of college kids. That's
right. Man, you and a bunch of Harvard kids.
Yeah, I was like, hey, fellow students, would you like to social? All right, let's. I want to bring Detective McCarsell on here. I want to bring Detective McCarsell. Detective McCarsell, you're here, and have you seen Superman yet?
No, I'm leaving in like 30 minutes to go see it.
Oh, how excited are you?
I am beyond excited.
Wonderful.
I'm super excited, one might say.
Yeah. Super. Oh,
that's dangerously close to wordplay.
Holy, we're going to allow it. You know why we're going to allow it? Because after the show tonight, I'm not working out. Tonight, I'm treating myself to some peach cobbler ice cream. So I'm in a good mood, Detective.
That's fair.
I'm in a good mood. All right. I have one question for you. And I want to know what is on your mind. When did you join Facebook?
2000. It was like 2009, I think.
When it exploded. Okay.
Yeah, it was. I was a junior in high school when I got on it. It's like I never got on MySpace, but I helped a bunch of friends set up their MySpace, which is really weird because they didn't understand how it worked, and I was the nerd who was decent with computers. So,
well, yeah, especially you're talking about late stage MySpace. If it's around that 0506 range where Facebook was there, but I was like convinced Facebook was not going to win. And then the early MySpace had been replaced by the HTML code MySpace.
Yeah.
Where you'd personalize your page to the point where it wouldn't load up on the screen anymore.
Yeah.
You couldn't it wasn't functional.
Yeah. I had several friends who wanted my help with it because I was decent enough and could figure it out.
Yeah.
But yeah, I got on Facebook in like, late 2009, something like that.
All right, just asked and answered. I appreciate it. What is on your mind? Also, hold time out, Michael. Don't answer that yet. Kingsport Cal says one of the least surprising things I've ever seen in our chat. Producer Steve, he says, I held onto MySpace for a while.
I don't blame him. He should have.
I'm making fun. I'm making fun at Cal as he drives to the Walmart. Once a year, I log into my Facebook or my MySpace page. I've really logged in once a year for the last 10 years.
Wow.
Yep.
Fair, I
I do.
guess.
I do.
Did anything happen to it after Justin Timberlake like bought it or whatever? Wasn't that a thing?
It's really weird, and it's like it was like went to like heavy on music, and then it went to I think it was like big in the Philippines. Like it was when I know Friendster was as well, but then it's kind of revamped. It's kind of interesting. Like my friend Bonnie Burton and I a couple years ago were like signed on. We're like, let's just go out over here. Let's just have a party over here. And none of the pictures from your old days transferred over. It's just a broken link. It's a mess. It's a mess.
Well, I mean, Tom from Facebook had it made. He sold for a bag and then took pictures around the world and is still just thumbsing up all around the world.
Genius. Look, I'm gonna tell you all right now, and we'll get to poor Michael McCarsel's question so we can get to goddamn Superman. Blathering blows up when it blows up. And a media company comes in to buy it, you guys won't even hear the door close. Out. The Blathering with producer Steve. It's yours, buddy. You and Cal can host a show. I will be on Catalina Island eating pizza.
You earned it, buddy.
It's if I win the lottery, I won't tell anyone, but there will be signs.
There'll be crumbs leading that. Follow me out the door. Anyways, Detective McCarsel, you're heading out to see Superman. What's on your mind?
All right. So on Force Center Live, you got very briefly mentioned. Someone brought up Avatar: The Last Airbender.
Yeah.
And the redemption story, and that's a big part of it.
Okay.
You don't have to watch the show. I'm just going to pitch it.
Okay.
I'm going to put it in a way that I think will at least kind of make it more palatable because I know you're not an anime fan. It's not anime, but whatever.
Yeah. Okay. Tell me. Ken Plume said this to me in the chat as well. Technically, Avatar: Last Airbender is not anime because it's not made in Japan, right?
Correct. It is.
Okay.
It is an American written and produced show. The animation team was from Korea.
Right. So that's
me being a big dweeb.
Yeah. No. And you both are correct. I get it. But please tell that to every person in my life who has an anime podcast who tells me I have to watch it.
Yes.
You're confusing me. Anyways,
it is very anime tropey. It's
yes.
very anime inspired, but it's still an American made. Regardless.
Okay. Pitch it to me. By the way, I love that you have to do this tiptoe tap dance and eggshell pitch of a show to me that you can't just recommend it or else I'll kick you off the air.
So to start, it is only 3 seasons, 61, 62 episodes, 25 minutes. So it's like less than a third of Deep Space Nine. Drastically shorter than Deep Space Nine. Suck it, Jared. You can blow through it. We have a war.
So now we have a war, producer Steve. Now everyone's gonna be like, it's not like Jared's suggestion of Deep Space Nine, idiot.
Jared's practically become a verb. We've DS9'd things with Jared because he's become such a troll and trying to get you. It's never going to happen, Jared. Let it go. Fetch isn't going to happen.
Fetch is. All right, so Michael, it's 3 seasons, 25-minute episodes, 62 episodes.
Yeah, 61, 62 episodes, something like that.
Okay.
So very quick show to rip through. You could probably do it in a week, maybe 2.
Okay.
Very easy.
I'm listening.
But
you haven't lost me.
It will hit you just like Rebels.
Like Rebels.
Almost to a T.
Okay.
Because you can watch that show and see where Filoni got most of Rebels from. Because he worked on Rebels. Sure. That's where he got to start anyway.
Yes, he worked on it.
So you're going to start, you're like, all right, it's kind of kiddie, first few episodes. And then there's a reveal about a genocide.
Okay.
You're like, oh, this main character, he's just a kid, whatever. Oh, this poor traumatized child. Holy shit. Just like Ezra. Ezra. And again, as was mentioned, the redemption arc. There is a character who, honestly, he is what probably a lot of people would have expected the Ben Solo lives and gets redeemed kind of arc to be.
Okay. All right. But the style, how's it play out?
It's it gets much more serious. Like halfway through season 1, it takes a drastic turn. And there's still episodes here and there that are just like, Chopper trying to find a spare part. Like them going for the melon fruits. There are still episodes like that.
Sure.
But once those get fewer in number as the series goes on. And by the time you hit season 3, it's all gas, except for, I think, one lighter episode that's even then it's still pretty bleak when you actually think about what's happening. It's a bunch of traumatized children venting at each other for 30 minutes.
Totally what I want to watch on a lazy Thursday. Look, Kingsport Cal. Here's some people are trying to help you. Kingsport Cal says Avatar is in Fortnite, Ken. Yeah, I know, Cal. They're all the assholes. Anytime we get killed by someone in Avatar, we're like, oh, these fucking sweaty assholes. Romo knows. Steve knows. Mandalorian Jedi says Alex and Molly love Avatar: The Last Airbender. Look, that doesn't completely help me because Alex also likes space dudes and mustaches. Like mustaches are the worst look in the galaxy. So that's not helping me either. But look, I hear what you're saying, Detective. I hear what you're saying. I'll just maybe have to watch it in passing one day. Maybe say clip. Maybe it'll grab me.
Look, like I said, the first 2 episodes, they will be just like the first 2 episodes of Rebels. So you're going to be like, all right, just kind of wacky, goofy, going on the road trip of the week mission. And then it hits.
Okay. I'm an Oasis fan. So Noel Gallagher unlocked the formula of like 1 or 2 songs and has written that to massive success. And I don't say that negatively. I just was watching a video today. And he's like, I'm not a genius. I'm a music fan. And that's what all my songs are about. So Dave Filoni has unlocked a style that I am in favor of. But isn't it weird that he just is like, all right, I'm going to do Avatar: Last Airbender just as Star Wars, not like in that direct. Is it too much like George just taken from Kurosawa? Like and influence. And I don't mean taken like steal. I'm not accusing George of stealing. The influences are okay to me because again, I'm an Oasis fan. What you know what I mean, Michael?
I get it. And Avatar is just it is inspired by a lot of things. Star Wars, at least the themes, very strongly inspired by Star Wars.
Okay.
Like the main character's arc is coming to accept the responsibility of what he has. He's the only one that can do this. Quite literally the only one that can do this. And the whole arc is him. He has to grow up, accept responsibility, and fight for what's right.
All right. I'm gonna in closing because I have another follow-up question about your movie trip. Okay. The things that you have said that have convinced me are short run, unlike Jared recommending 32 syndicated seasons of Deep Space Nine just to get one episode about baseball 7 seasons in or whatever it is. You got to short.
How many Deep Space Nine is? It's 170. Let's just double check the number. 176 episodes, all of which are about 45 minutes.
That's 10 years of my life. All right. So what you're saying is a positive. 3 seasons, 25-minute episodes. I can get through that. That could be a good couple weeks. So that's the biggest win.
Look, treadmill show.
The treadmill. Well, I don't have a treadmill anymore. So thank you for rubbing that wound.
Sorry.
And, no, I'm kidding. The negative, the con. And this is you and everyone in chat who keeps going, Ken, you'll like Avatar. It's just like Star Wars or Rebels. Then how about I just watch Star Wars Rebels again? How about I just go to that?
That's fair. I think there are a handful of characters that would probably you would probably enjoy.
I'm sure I would. Okay. Michael, this is wonderful. You've ruffled Jared's feathers. I appreciate that more than anything.
Good.
What's
to ruffle his feathers another time?
Perfect. A final question for you. Snack at the movie theater. What do you got?
I sneak in protein bars.
You sneak in protein bars? How do you kick off your shoes and have a good time, Michael? With 32 push-ups? Like what? Let yourself go. Get a popcorn.
Nah. I don't like popcorn enough to eat that much.
Junior Mints.
It's so expensive. I don't need all the sugar. I can't.
I respect. I'm trying to get in shape. I'm gonna have ice cream tonight.
That's fair.
But I've been really good. I'm probably down 5 pounds this week. I'm feeling really chuffed. Okay, so I look up to you, Michael. I just want you to have a good time tonight. If protein bars are it, then Godspeed, Rebel.
Look, they're the tasty ones too. The barbells, they're
okay.
One of the best.
All right. Yeah. All right. Thank you, Detective McCarcel. Appreciate you.
See you, gang.
All right, everybody. He's going to go see the movie that all the world's talking about there. And look at it. And Romo does it too. I don't have a treadmill anymore. It's not part of my life anymore. The treadmill's gone, people. I have to go for walks now. Actual walks. Junior Mints. Romo's starting to fight over Junior Mints. Wow. Tully's right. I can't trust the detective at this point. Steve, what's your name? Steve? What do you feel about him taking protein bars into the movie theater?
Nerd. Huge nerd. Huge nerd. No, dude, the movie, we're sitting on our ass for 2.5 hours being gluttons. Own it. This is like going to fast food and getting Diet Cokes. This is like getting salad from Domino's.
Well,
like,
hold on.
Stay in your lane.
Hold on.
You know what I mean? Know
Hold
what
on.
you're doing.
I'm going to push back on you there.
Go ahead. Go for it.
Diet Coke is my soda of choice, or Diet Pepsi, because of the taste, and the sugar and the other ones literally causes all my teeth to shrink in pain.
Okay, so the teeth thing I understand, but if you try to tell me that Diet Coke tastes better than regular Coke,
yes,
you're a monster.
It's
yeah,
100%. I'm Godzilla.
That's not.
Call
that
me Godzilla.
Isn't true. You're telling yourself that because you don't like the way your teeth and everything. If we gave you some George Washington teeth and said your mouth is now immune of everything,
okay.
Ken, you're gonna prefer regular Coke.
It's me and LQ on the Diet Coke side. When I go to a bar and I order a rum and diet, I get weird looks. Okay, I get weird looks. I don't care.
Isn't the aspartame like bad for you too?
Yeah. Oh, it's gonna kill me. I don't drink it a ton. By the way, I don't drink. Zevia is my canned drink of choice in the house. Actually, look what I got. I got maybe when I get to a sparkling lemonade. I went to Trader Joe's today. Yeah, I don't have soda, but when I do, Diet Coke or Diet Pepsi. I prefer Diet Pepsi too, so I'm even weirder. All right, we're gonna celebrate Ken Plume's birthday with Ken Plume here in a bit.
Oh, awesome.
That's going to be fun. All right, Jared's going to do some Game of Thrones, but I want to hear from my buddy Chris, who's calling in, because Chris sometimes he's a librarian, and so sometimes there's a librarian emergency, and he's got to jump off the phone, like a book is broken or stolen or something like that. So, Chris, you're on the air, the Blathering Live. How you doing, buddy? What's on your mind?
I'm doing well. How are you, sir?
I'm good. What is the worst librarian emergency not related to the unhoused using your bathrooms inappropriately?
Oh, God. I don't know, because that's a lot of my day sometimes. Geez.
Yes.
I'm you're going to have to ask me this question next time. I'm sorry.
Okay. I'll give you a chance to prep. Have you had a chance to see Superman? No spoilers around here, but have you had a chance to see it? You seen this weekend?
I have not. I'm actually thinking of dodging the crowds and going to see it when Fantastic Four comes out. That way those people are going, see Fantastic Four, and I can sneak in and see Superman, because I want to see both, but
yeah, see both.
Crowds not so good. So
I respect the counter programming approach there. I respect that there. I love that there. All right, I know you have sometimes limited time, so I want to get to you. What's on your mind tonight, buddy?
I got all the time you need. Shout out to producer Steve and the Napzok Nation while I'm here too. So
okay, love it.
Thank you.
So question for you, which maybe I should have sent you in advance, but I'm curious if you have any ideas for restaurants. Are there any food concepts that you feel are missing in the market? Is there anything you're just, any kind of niche, any kind of food mashup you're looking
when I was in the security business, I used to tell a lot of folks that I had a dream to open up a restaurant catered to the non-straight male crowd, and it was going to be called Moose Knuckles. And you can take the concept from there and run with it. A lot of tight shorts, and serve the speaking of counter programming, serve the the anti Hooters marketplace for many folks. I felt that because there used to be that restaurant, you might remember it because it was over there in Northridge, called the Tilted Kilt, which was like Hooters with like more nudity. And I think there was one in Vegas, a chain. So it was around that time that Tilted Kilt opened. I'm like, all right, let's make this even for a lot of folks. I want to open up Moose Knuckles, and it would just be of American fare.
Fantastic! I love the idea.
But in terms of actual restaurants, no. The only thing that realistically is even close to an answer is my dad wanted to take my grandmother's recipe for pershkis and borscht and a lot of the Russian/Ukrainian/USSR-ish things that my grandmother used to make, and open up a restaurant like that in San Luis Obispo. But like a lot of things, my dad's ideas never came to fruition, and that's something I understand and respect, and I'm trying to make a different pattern in my life.
Fantastic. I have three restaurant ideas, but only one of them is serious, and I don't want to turn this into a weekly call-in. But I don't want to turn this into a weekly call-in segment, so I can just blow them all out now if you want me to.
Please, yeah, no, please
Okay.
blow it out. Is that one of the restaurants? Blow it out now.
It is not actually, but you might have given me a fourth all of a sudden. No, first the serious one is I'm surprised there's not like a Chipotle kind of place, but for hot dogs. Like you go in there, like you pick out your bun, you want a poppy seed bun, you want a wheat bun, you want a beef frank, you want a pork, what kind of toppings do you want? Kind of cut, like a Chipotle kind of Subway, but for hot dogs.
Hold on. There isn't?
Yeah. Not that I'm aware of.
Steve, I hate to sound like Joe Rogan. Can you look that up?
On it. I'm on it.
This is an amazing idea. Jared type about this is they got places like that here in Boston.
Okay.
No one in Boston is sober enough to remember that we're going to steal it from them. So I like this idea. This is a genius idea. A hot dog bar.
Yeah, just customize it all the whole way down. So that's the one serious idea.
Okay. That's serious. Kate Huseby, they have a great one here. Be frank. I like this. I don't love the wordplay. I don't like the wordplay, but I think it works for a restaurant concept.
Yeah, for sure. I would have to go to wherever Katie's from and try that place then.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay, that's your real one.
That's the real one. The second one, somewhat serious, is a restaurant called, or the concept is that it serves Thanksgiving. Dinner, Thanksgiving lunch, turkey fixings all aside, 364 days a year, because on actual Thanksgiving you have to spend it with your family. But if you want turkey dinner, if you want the mashed potatoes, all that stuff in March, go to Thanksgiving restaurant. If you want it in for breakfast in July, go to the Thanksgiving restaurant.
I love this.
Yeah.
Look, here's my thing. Keep it open on Thanksgiving because some folks don't like their families or have families. So, Chris, I want you all to serve Chinese food on Thanksgiving.
Ooh, I like that.
One day a year. All right, you're two for two. I would eat at both these restaurants.
Okay. The last one is so absurd it could potentially be a stand-up bit, but the place is called Salads. But it does not serve actual salads. Like if you want a Caesar salad, no, not the place. It serves like chicken salad, macaroni salad, fruit salad.
Ooh.
But if you want like a green salad, not the place for you. So it's called Salads, but it serves salad sandwiches.
Steve, you like this one?
I'm so torn on this. I would be so pissed off, Ken, if I went to this restaurant and tried to get a Caesar salad, and they're like, "Sorry, we only have fruit salad." I'm like, your name is. It would be like Curb Your Enthusiasm bit.
Tuna salad sandwich, chicken salad sandwich.
It would go viral, says Jared. Interesting. See, this might be your winner, Chris. This was your cleanup hitter.
I know.
This might be your winner.
This was the bottom of the list, and now it's rocketing to the top.
King's Fork Cal is a good question. Taco salad?
Oh,
because I think that's in the salad family. It's not what you're looking for.
No, salad. No, is taco salad show up on the appetizer side of the menu, or is it on the main event side of the menu?
It's just basically that one part of the deli when you go to get eat at a high priced deli, right? I like this because what did I have? What did I have for dinner at Trader Joe's? I grabbed myself a tuna salad wrap. I had tuna salad for dinner. I sometimes just get egg salad and eat it without the bread. I almost got potato salad.
Any kind of protein you can mix with mayonnaise and serve on bread. That's what the restaurant is. And then the side dishes are the fruit salad, the potato salad, the macaroni salad, that stuff.
Jared is on board. He says chicken salad is the boom.
100% agree.
He might have meant the bomb, but I like. Is that too? What's the New Jersey family? Boom boom or bam bam or whatever. I don't know. You guys think I'm crazy.
All right, that's all I got.
The silence is deafening from you two right there.
I wouldn't like this restaurant, Ken. I hate mayonnaise, so I wouldn't have a good time.
So that's one of your weaknesses. It's fine.
I know, it is. No one's perfect, Ken.
Okay. And Rads is right. This is the most American restaurant possible. No green salad bar. A salad bar with no salad. Welcome to America.
There we go.
Chris, this was a absolute home run of a call, and we'll come back to this at some point. I love this.
Sounds great.
All right, Chris Kiefer, everybody. The greatest librarian in L.A. County. His wife, the greatest librarian in Ventura County. Had lunch with Chris the other day, one of my favorites. And you know why? Let me tell you something, Steve, why I respect Chris, okay? We've known each other since about 2005 or 6. I got a text from him at the end of June. hey, here are my next two possible lunch days, July 3rd and July 27th. Are any of those days available for you? And we July 3rd it was. Like, that's what I respect.
He was proactive. He reached out to you. I respect it too. That did give me one idea, Ken, for what kind of restaurant I would submit that doesn't exist. This may be a thing that has been taken before, but I've had this conversation before, kind of. I want the last meal restaurant. This might just be the Cheesecake Factory already because it has everything.
So it's called Death Rows?
Oh, see? Now, don't give that away. Be careful.
Okay.
But yeah, the idea is last meal restaurant is everything on the menu is like either some famous person's death row meal that was like actually like, oh, this person wanted like, all these things. That and also just kind of whatever someone's popular last meal would be. So the menu is just going to be incredible, right? Okay. Like it's going to be everything you can imagine. Give me that restaurant.
I'm on board with this. What we've all learned here today is the only growth industry right now might be the food service industry. Though that said, the oldest restaurant in LA just is announced they're closing. So maybe not. But people still need to eat. They can't afford to eat, but they need to eat. I think maybe Steve, Blathering GoFundMe to launch a restaurant, and we'll just choose the winner from this list. I love this. All right, let's bring in Jared here, and then after that, Ken Plume. We're gonna celebrate Ken Plume's birthday with Ken Plume. It doesn't look like he's firing up his camera though. I really wanted to get his happy birthday face on, but
I want to see some figures. Yeah, I want to see some Ken Plume stuff.
Well, maybe we can convince him. But first, we're gonna bring our buddy Jared, the Thai pilot, on the show. How you doing, buddy? We've said some bad things about you. You have the floor.
Yeah, I'm used to it. Can I say?
You got to understand, for all the listeners, you are all part of this community, and you're all regulars. All right. If I am hacking on you, it's because I love you, Jared.
I know, and I love you too, Ken. That's why I keep, calling every week for this.
That's true. If I was a real asshole, you probably wouldn't have come back after the second episode. That's fair.
Let's put it the way I say. There's a reason why you're the only one left from the Collider days that I still follow and watch. Literally the only one.
Thank you. I had a lot of fun posting that Superman review, and usually this frustrates me, but this time around I realized, you know what, I am the problem. I got a lot of positive comments on my Superman review on Instagram, and every one of them were like, "We've missed you. Where have you been?" So for 7 years, these people thought I was gone. For 7 years, I had no place in their life. One Superman review, they're like, love. So I hope some of you are here. That's the idea of getting more active and putting some more stuff out there. It's on me to remind you all that I exist. So I appreciate that, Jared, that you remembered me. And you've been with me for a long time, across many shows, I will add.
Yes. Well, you just, even in the days of putting on happier faces with, Shmoda and stuff, it's like you could always tell the trueness of Ken back there and whatnot. And honestly, it was always just your Star Wars takes too, and just watching you on Movie Talk was hilarious. Yeah, excited. Yes, things.
Anytime they were like, "Hey, you're on Movie Talk Tuesday or Thursday or both," I'd be like, "All right, what jokes could I make about me in the movies?" That's all it is. There you go. Yeah, Rads is right. My secretly British insults with love is our culture. I've been told many times I'd live a happy life in London. So maybe you're right.
Would. I know many British people. They would love you there.
Yep. Matty Gunner's trying to get out, but maybe we trade. Maybe we'd.
It's one of those. The grass is always green.
The grass is greener. Yeah. All right. We're going to get right to it because I want to celebrate Ken Plume's birthday. As always, Jared, the Thai pilot, calls in, and we get a chance to relive Game of Thrones. It's our Game of Thrones rewatch series. It's gone on in this form. I used to do longer, detailed dives. Check those out. But now we're here with Jared calling in about Season 6, Episode 2, I believe.
Yes, we are. Bullying works, kids, as Alden Diaz says. Always going to make sure to throw him under the bus. But, yep, we're on Season 6, Episode 2, Home. Once again, directed by Jeremy Paswana. I looked it up to try to see how to say it. That's the closest I'm getting. Okay. Written by David Hill, different writer than D&D this time.
Right.
And this is a packed episode.
It is.
Oh, we got like 7 storylines going on. A lot of good ones to choose from. but I gotta talk to my baby boy first. Finally got him. 11 episodes later, Bran is back.
That's right. The grand return of Bran. And you're excited about this. I was excited about it too. But I know at the end of season 4, there was some talk of the Bran stuff was a little boring. And I understand that thought, not complaint. But I was excited too. Your boy's back.
Yes. And back with juicy lore stuff going. Is it time travel? Is it visions? It'll always be debated. And that's one of the great things about the Three-Eyed Raven stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But we start to see the little bits of the raising and getting all the behind the scenes of the stories that he heard, but what really happened. And today, it's seeing young Papa, Eddard, Benjen, Lyanna Stark, and learning Hodor, seeing not only learning Hodor's real name, but seeing him as a functioning human being, more or less. It's just like, and it's, we all should have seen it coming. It's like, oh, they just gave us healthy Hodor. They're about to break our hearts, aren't they?
So I just rewatched this episode a couple days ago, and you're so right. I love the flashback sequences, and it is about getting answers that had been hearing about. Book reader, show watcher, or both, it doesn't matter. We've been waiting for this kind of stuff. The show was way out in front of the books at this point. And, I'm someone used to, walk around with the L plus R equals J shirt, right? Like I was one of those nerds. And we're starting to work towards that. It was really exciting. But seeing Hodor, Willis, which was different from his first name in the books, if I recall it. I don't immediately recall it. I'm so sorry. Someone leave it in the comments. But seeing him, you're so right. We all should have expected just absolute heartbreak, because every shot from then on, the moment you see him as a kid from then on to the end of the episode, is like the camera's just lingering on him the entire time when he's in the background. I wonder what happened to you, Hodor. Oh, Hodor. And it's just like, this is going to get bad, friends. This is going to get bad.
Oh, God. The biggest cry is coming up in the whole series.
Still one of my favorite moments of heartbreak in Game of Thrones.
It really is. But we'll get there. We'll get there. But
we will.
It's these little moments now that we're gonna see, and also I love them pulling back in these moments, and because you easily could have just made it all about the flashbacks, seeing cool stuff, getting lore drops, as you said, working towards R plus L equals J. But we just step back and see Mara Reed's perspective, and just basically going, I get to watch him basically trip balls all day.
Yeah. What am I supposed to do with that? Yeah.
For an undisclosed amount of time. It's the Dagobah of GOT. How much time passes? As much as the plot needs it to be.
Yeah. And which is why I do, looking back, I would have taken them in season 5. I think there's some interesting stuff in the books of what Bran goes under the ground, under the tree. But yeah, I think in the end for TV it was the right decision. It's like you have to do things different. You have to do Theon as Reek completely different. It's the first second he appears on the screen as Reek in the show, it's different than the book, which, probably fooled a lot of folks in a wonderful way when you learn who Reek is. So I think it was the right decision. And the flashback stuff or whatever it is, and I'm with you too. I don't even care to know what it is. It's magical, it's mystical. It is a world between worlds almost, and I love everything about it. And I love when we get to the Sword of the Morning, which is it next episode or this one? I watched them both, so now I'm confused.
I believe it's next episode.
Yeah, it is.
I believe, yeah.
So I love that. Big stuff there, and then we're building towards the big return and all the stuff with Jon at the end too here, right?
Yep. So as I went to my favorite part, but the big part of this episode that is remembered, baby boy Jon waking back up, Ghost noticing it first. But what I like about this scene too is, because we've often talked about the Lord of Light being one of basically the few, if not only, gods that shows power and or interest in the happenings of the world. Is it a question of the Lord of Light imposing just you have more work to do, so no matter what happens, you're waking back up? because the way she does her resurrection spell versus, and I'm sorry, I cannot remember the other priest's name who gets drunk and resurrects our other boy.
Thoros Amir.
Yes, yes. Because he does it very different than her. Is it
right?
Not a question of their faith or their words, but a question of, nope, you're not done yet. Get back up.
Maybe with both of them, right? With Melisandre and Jon Snow. She's at this crisis of faith, which we talked about out in the last episode with the Red Woman episode that starts the season. So maybe, if the Lord of Light is actually answering or even calling to them, maybe, Thoros was Thoros had to get his act together. I think she kind of had her act together for centuries, but now it's like, you don't believe, you don't think you have purpose, but you do have purpose if you choose to have it. And with Jon, we don't really get the answer, right? That's the first thing she kind of asked. One of the first things she asked is, what was it like on the other side? Was there a Buc-ee's, a park? What was there? What'd you see? What'd you see, Jon? And there's just nothingness over there, which is equally as frightening, I think, for all her and everyone around. So yeah, I'm with you, and I'm not saying the Lord of Light is right. I'm not saying any of these religions in the show are right. I just always think it's fascinating. In A Song of Ice and Fire, you do have the great other, in this case, the Night King, which is complete cold, and then you have the light, the warmth, and at times the questionable practices of the fire of the Lord of Light. So I just always been fascinated by that religion more than the other.
It really is. But it's one of those, the more we dive into it, is the Lord of Light truly responsible for the heinous things of the followers? I mean, it's all about interpretations. Mm-hmm. I mean, as far as we know, the Lord of Light didn't say burn Shireen.
Right. Well, and Melisandre, I think, kind of gets caught in a way where, not that she's lying at every step, but like she's trying to manufacture some things, right? And it's why when she kind of meets up with Jon Snow, and it's like, maybe it was wrong. Maybe it's this guy.
Well, it's just it's her. As we talked about, it's her. She believes, she's got total faith in it.
Yeah.
And then when everything goes awry with her total belief, and she does the sleep without the spell, and she still gets to wake up again, talking about how there's always the Lord of Light makes purpose out of it. It's like, okay, I guess I'll put in some more. I mean, does that reaffirm her belief, or just it's an interesting state of mind that they put her in? I'm rambling. I'm sorry.
No, it's good, and I like where it ends up, and I love some of the stuff. Again, I know she's not on the show as much in the end, but her ending is. We'll get to it when we get to season 8, but it's one of my favorite things in the show, and her kind of understanding her great purpose, that conversation with Varys that she has later on. So I love it there, and in rewatching this episode, I was reminded to years removed now. The return of Jon Snow, I think, is even something I like more then, because back then, in a world in which pop culture pundits were more worried about their theories and who's going to die, the fact that Jon Snow was going to come back to life was probably not a surprise to anyone. We know it was well past the books, but we talked about it at the end of our season 5 discussion. The hair watch, Kit Harington hair watch, Kit Harington airport watch. So we all kind of knew it, and I think at the time it kind of was almost anticlimactic. But now, years removed, where the whole story, and you just rewatch it and relive in the moments. Everything about Ed going to get help. Everything about Davos and Ghost sitting there waiting for a fight with Sir Alistair Thorne and the other brothers, like and the wildlings showing up, the free folk showing up. Like it's more about all that now to me, and then it's more about Melisandre and the belief and the power of belief and all these things than did my theory of Jon Snow come true. So I really appreciate this ending more than I did then. So
no, yeah, I agree more, and it just
good stuff.
It leads us into another great episode next week. Next week we've got Oathbreaker.
We do,
and it gives me probably one of my favorite jokes in the whole show, from Tormund to Jon Snow.
Yes, absolutely. We'll cross that bridge when we get to it. But yeah, I watched both of them, so it's like a double feature in my head. I think they're the same episode. We'll get to that. I appreciate you, Jared. Good stuff as always, my friend.
All right, you guys stay safe. We'll see you next week.
All right, talking Game of Thrones. We're talking softball. All right, I think, Steve, I know we got some sports lined up, but you wanna celebrate with a little birthday boy?
Let's do it. Yeah, we've got some sports lined up. I also I started writing down a question while you guys were talking Thrones based on. Sorry, I sound very nasally today. Sorry, I'm getting over a sickness thing. There was a question someone, I think it was Chris, the librarian, and you guys were talking about something, and it made me think of like a lottery question. So I think I came up with a pretty good lottery question. We might want to save it for next time, depending on how you're doing on time, Ken. But if not, we can tuck that in either after sports or we'll do it next week. But I'm kind of excited.
I like that. I like that.
Okay.
Let's cook it up. Let's cook it up.
Okay.
Let's
Okay.
make the sequel. All right. Let's see if we can get him on. He looks like he's refusing his camera today. Let's see if he's actually on. Celebrating his birthday. The number is redacted. A friend of the show. You all know him, and if you've played Fortnite with him, you've definitely had a good time. Please welcome to the show, Mr. Birthday Boy Ken Plume. Ken, you there?
There's nothing more blathering than to spend my birthday in a green room
Yeah.
for such a long time. And there's no snacks out. I would have thought there'd be great snacks. There's nothing in here.
Look, I've eaten most of the tasty cakes that Ranger Donald sent me, so I apologize. I'll have to send some out. Happy birthday, buddy. Publicly, I said it privately, but happy birthday.
Well, I appreciate that immensely. Look there, I'll put a little camera on for you just so you have something.
Okay. All
I
right.
didn't set it up.
All right. Let me do this here. Ooh, oop. Steve, I'm gonna dump Steve out just for a second. Okay. So what do we got?
Well, there you go. There's the only camera setup I have right now.
That's the only one you got right now. It's Crypto and Superman. Absolutely love that there. What? So now, with no spoilers, you had a chance to see the picture.
I did. I saw 2/3 of it, and then lightning struck, and it took the film offline and the theater offline for about 25 minutes. And then the film came back, and we finished it.
Oh.
And then I exited the theater, and there was a massive rainbow in the sky.
Oh. See, that's beautiful. That's so. Wait, what is it? When you're sitting in a theater and lightning strikes to the point where it knocks the film out, is it just like a power outage, or did you hear something? How does this work?
Well, it's an action film. I mean, there's action in the film.
That's true.
So you really don't understand how many environmental sounds are not in the movie until the point when it stops. But there was a pretty powerful set of thunderstorms that I guess were rolling through. Starting when the movie had started, that it went dark at a pretty climactic scene. It was very odd. You get that initial sort of panic response as anything unexpected in this world we live in now elicits.
Right. Start looking over your shoulder.
Then you're also in a big box with no windows, so you don't know what's going on.
You don't know what's going on.
Yeah.
Did it kind of feel like in Oh Brother, Where Art Thou, where they stopped the movie and all the chain gang walks in with Turturro?
Yeah.
Do not seek the treasure. Steve, you know that reference? Good for you.
Yes, I know that reference. Love that movie.
Don't get Plume what I started. We will just do that scene, not even accurately. We'll just keep saying lines over and over.
You're a suitor.
It's you're bona fide. So all right. So without spoilers, rough thoughts or rough emotions on the Superman picture.
I enjoyed it immensely. I mean, I think any messages that people care to see in the film, are all ones that are seen through the prism of the times we are in. And that is for people to take or not take away from it. I think it's all driven by character first and foremost.
Right.
And that's the strength of it, and the strength of Superman as a character in representing the best of humanity as an aspiration, because it's a choice, and decency is a choice. And he represents making that choice and living your life that way.
I love what you said there. That's actually such a wonderful point, especially even as I've been talking at the top of the show about the politics of the picture. That shouldn't overshadow what they pulled off. Whether everyone out there will love the film 100% A+, it's going to be very rare that a film does that. It's got some things that that I was like, okay, give or take some of those moments or action beats or whatever. But I just love what was there because of what you said. They got the characters right. I think they
Yeah.
really got the characters.
And
right.
James Gunn has a very strong identity as a filmmaker and has his own quirks as a filmmaker and brings his own way of depicting a film. But I think that the thing that is consistent throughout all of his work is that he has a sincerity that he brings to it and an emotional honesty. And you're either along for that ride or you're not along for that ride. And I was along for that ride, and I want to see where it goes. And I'm very interested. Above and beyond, but as an experience for what it was, I hope that people drown out the noise that is trying to envelop it.
Right.
And just go and even just to go see it as a movie. Just go as a movie. It's summertime. Just go as a movie.
I really agree with that there. Just, it's just fun. It's fun and funny and romantic first. And all the other stuff is just there for you to take, like you said. So well said indeed. The biggest question, though, that I want to know is, did you get the popcorn bucket?
No, I didn't get. No, I did not.
Why? Why? You're a popcorn bucket collector.
Because I have to get the Fantastic Four buckets when they come out, and
You're saving up.
I can't do the Superman buckets. As I saw that if I were to get any of the Superman ones, it would have been the Daily Planet newspaper box, little mini version of that, just because that was
cool.
fun. That's fun.
That's cool.
They're ridiculous ones. There was a big giant dinosaur print that I don't know what that's supposed to be, like a sandbox you could buy there. I don't know what that was.
There's a lot going on.
It was like 3 feet by 3 feet giant dinosaur footprint for Jurassic Park.
Yeah, there's a lot. There's a lot going on. It's too much. I have no ill will against the popcorn buckets, but all of it is we're turning movie theaters into theme parks now. I don't know. And maybe that's how we get people out. So who am I to say? I'm not here to destroy cinema.
The problem with my theater is it's not reserved seating.
Oh, God.
And it was a 3D movie, so it was a mad dash to get a good line of sight for the 3D. So if you're carrying popcorn buckets, you can't just walk back to the car.
Yeah. No, especially
also if you're going to the theater alone, that's your placeholder if you have to use the restroom, so no one takes your seat.
Oh, that's a good idea, though. Oh, that's good, though. But then, unless someone just swipes it. All right, for those who are joining the show, we are. This is Blathering Live. I'm Ken Napzok, but we're here with the other Ken. We've got a few Kens around these parts, but this is Ken Plume, Force 5. You got his YouTube channel. It's his birthday. He's celebrating his birthday with us. In fact, if you're watching live, I'm going to drop in chat here. This is a tip link that goes to Mr. Plume's Stream Elements tip jar. If you want to give him a tip or something for his birthday so he can get himself something nice this weekend, we'd love if you do that here today. What treats did you end up getting? And I know you had a big dinner planned. So did you go?
Oh no. Also, I don't know if that Stream Elements is still valid.
Oh, well, okay. I was on. Okay.
Well,
all right.
I think there's a PayPal one that I set up that does work.
All right, I'll dig for that. Oh, yep, I'm getting that one. All right, so tell us what you got at the theater.
I got super awkward. I got nothing. I wore my mask. I'm not going to get sick. I just there were too many people coughing around me.
Mm-hmm.
So if I do get popcorn now, I'll bring it home with me. I don't need to eat it in the theater. But I also knew that I was going to be getting a big dinner afterwards. So
okay,
I did not get any snacks.
I respect this.
If I did, it would be straight popcorn. I generally don't do the candy just because the popcorn and a large drink is filling enough.
It's plenty. It's very, very disciplined of you. If you got a question for Mr. Plume on his birthday, please ask away. Like Tully Quinn with this first question. I must ask Mr. Plume, how do you keep dust off your many toys? I think I know part of the answer.
Well, it used to be air cans.
Mm-hmm.
I found an incredible rechargeable super duster that I shared with Ken, and he knows how wonderful it is.
Yep.
The thing that has been a recent development that has been much needed was I went ahead and finally got an air purifier. Because what happens is if you're just dusting, you're kind of just blowing it into the air and it's all going to settle back down. So it feels like you've dusted for a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
But unless you're actively removing it from the air, then so it's I would always dust, but now I'm actively, and I have not seen since getting the air purifier the settlement happening. Like it's not a couple of
Yeah.
days later where suddenly things are dusty again.
Not to look, we sound like two aging old men entering
Because
our
we
retirement years because we are. I have that air filter, air purifier. It's amazing. Grace once claimed that it stopped my snoring. So I have no proof of that now, but it's going strong. And then the duster you got, I think I still technically have Amazon affiliate links. Not that we all want to plug into the evil corporation, but I might reactivate it to drop that link in the show here. Folks, this rechargeable air blower is one of the sexiest things I've ever seen on earth. It is got 3 speeds. And it just, you have to be careful because you'll blow books down. It's the best thing to remove dust, albeit temporarily, and put it on your carpet. But
I've knocked a lot of stuff over with that thing, and you can knock stuff over from across the room with that.
Yep. On the highest setting, 100%. And
it is so tiny, and it's not obnoxiously loud like what some of those rechargeable air dusters were in the past, where it was like this piercing whine. It's not that bad for what it does.
It would piss off our Chihuahua, but that's about it. And I still own it, and it's great. And it turns dusting into sport. It's like really fun, almost like a relaxing hobby. And
you did get a holster for yours.
Yes, well that's true. I do twirl it like a cowboy, like I'm Billy the Kid in Young Guns. But yeah, this has just turned into the old man. This has turned into QVC. This is QVC. I cannot, because it pays for itself. The amount of the cost of air duster, compressed air these days. Oh my God. I sound so old, but it's so expensive. That's why I recommend this.
You would not believe the savings that you.
Yes, already. Because those compressed air cans, they're such a racket. They go so fast. Like 4, you're done. The force behind them's gone. This is permanent, baby. It's a great device.
Yeah. Well, you know what? I hope people order it. Supplies are limited. They're going fast. If you act now.
Oh, man.
I do want to say I caught a little bit of your Avatar discussion, and speaking of old man, your cranky old man set in his ways, unwilling to. Did Superman teach you nothing about opening your heart and accepting?
Sure.
I want to do. I'll just watch Rebels. I can't believe you said that. Like you're the worst cliche that you rail against in other folks.
But I've always been like that. When people, you like Game of Thrones, you're like, no, I like Game of Thrones.
I want you to make sure that you tell people in Fortnite what's your favorite special power that's ever been dropped into that game.
Oh, all the Avatar stuff. The airbending and the absolutely.
And listen, the monsters that we encounter that are jerks at the end of matches are not in Avatar skins. Did you mean to say they're in anime? They're either anime or Sabrina Carpenter's.
That's true. The a-hole Sabrina Carpenter connection, it's concerning, quite frankly. I don't think Sabrina knows.
There's very rarely that we've encountered Avatar characters in an end game, because I think they're off being too nice through most of the match.
Oh, is that what it is? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I think they're off helping other players.
They're probably giving them gifts, friendship. Yeah. I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm just saying I gave some pros in Michael's pitch, but the con is the amount of people that keep saying it's just like Star Wars. And I'll just watch Star Wars. That doesn't win me over. That's all I'm saying.
I'm putting it forward as you'd enjoy it. And in the same way we were all reticent about Rebels, and you wound up loving Rebels.
It's true.
I can guarantee you, if you sit down with that first episode, you'll be like, that was fun. I'm going to keep watching.
That was fun.
The great thing is, if you don't think it was fun, you don't have to keep watching.
Unless you'll bully me into continuing.
I know there's no bullying you at all.
There's no.
It does not work.
No, 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 no. I'll tell you something. It did work because what did I come home with the other night from the ice cream place? 2 pints of ice cream.
That wasn't bullying, and you were only supposed to bring one.
You bullied me. I was like, I'm getting one, and you said, you better get 2, and I got 2.
But you got 2 different flavors.
I did get 2 for peach cobblers tonight,
and you enjoyed the first one of them immensely. So
I did.
Don't even blame me for that.
I did.
Theater wise, you talked about your theater. Been asking about snack. What did you get? Anything special at the screening you went to? Did they give out any snacks?
They gave us a free popcorn. So Ellis and I got some popcorn and a drink. I did get a vanilla cream Diet Barks to drink, and then I got we each got a hot dog. I got a plain hot dog. I just sat there and ate a plain hot dog. That was it. While Mark talked to Scott Mantz, I sat there and ate my hot dog. And I talked to Scott Mantz after because I love him, but I just sat there eating a hot dog. I wouldn't get up. I wouldn't get up to greet anybody. I just ate the hot dog.
And how good was the hot dog?
It was really good. Good beef frank. Good beef frank. AMC, I think it was AMC Century City. Lovely frank. I enjoyed it. It would do well. This is why I want that restaurant Chris was talking about earlier, a hot dog bar restaurant. It was solid.
I mean, how do you feel about what they're offering in theaters now? Because I saw somebody walk in. AMC was selling a 14-inch pizza.
Here's the thing. I do think it is a bit much. Much like we're talking about with the popcorn boxes, buckets, and it's got a theme park vibe. But I understand if people are going to go out and they're going to spend that much money, let's make it an evening. I'd rather eat all my food there than go to dinner. But I went to our buddy Cade Husby's film that I was in, The Quarter Life Crisis. I went down to downtown LA to the Regal there, and they had redone the theater, and each theater chair was great, comfortable, had its own table. And I'm like, this might be a bridge too far. We might have peaked at theater food.
Now imagine walking in with that 14-inch pizza box, and there are no tables in this theater.
Yeah, yeah.
And AMC is selling this. This is on site. They're selling this pizza.
See, I do agree. If you're going to sell that food, you got to give us all tables. I do agree with that. If you're going to go all the way, go all the way.
Utterly ridiculous. Also, if you're sitting in a seat, and I don't care if no one's in front of you, don't put your feet up on top of the seat in front of you, because someone's eventually going to sit in that seat. And I don't want someone's nasty feet who have been resting on there because that's how you decided to get comfortable, because it's not a reclining seat.
That's true.
That you're sitting in.
I
can't footrest.
I can't reach the top, so I don't do that. But I have in the past, occasionally, if I'm there alone, I have a knee problem, so my knee cramps, and I'll put it between the seats on the armrest. Just as bad, because that's actually probably where you put in food. So I'll change my habit. You're right. That's a menace to society. I shouldn't.
And the trailers are part of the movie. Don't talk.
Oh my God. Producer Steve, you can help me with this too. I don't know where you've come down on this, Steve. I agree with you. I'm always there for the previews, as everyone knows. I'm a stickler for that. I get so anxious, tense, and combative when the trailers are starting and people are still talking. I get in their head. They're like, hey, the movie hasn't begun. But I get nervous because I'm like, I'm trying to identify the problems. Like, who's going to be the problem? And everyone is at that point. It stresses me out.
Whose phone is still out?
Right? I agree.
Who hasn't opened their loud candy package?
Mm-hmm. Steve, where do you come down on this?
That's the security guard in you there, Ken, still like assessing all the situations. Who's the issue? Who's the problem child? All that kind of stuff.
Yes.
I'm down for the only ad I like is the famous Nicole Kidman one before the previews start, where she tells you how great movies are and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Other than that, though, no, I hate ads. I paid too much money to sit in front of commercials. I like previews, don't get me wrong, but I don't need commercials before my previews. I don't want to sit down that early.
I understand. I still want to be there before my anxiety kicks in. But the trailers are go time. The trailers are play ball. The national anthem has happened, and the umpires yelled play ball when the trailers come on. Not the commercials, the trailers.
Yeah, the lights get darker for the trailers versus the commercials. That's when you know it's game time.
Yeah. If they're telling you to put your 3D glasses on for a trailer, it's part of the movie. Your glasses are on. You're engaged.
I agree with that. I agree with that. All right, good stuff. Final question here. King Sport Cal wants to know, are you going to do more DuckTales stuff?
uh, beyond the book that I
Right.
did. I mean, I
No.
I mean, I didn't do the show, so that part I can't do at all.
There you
I
go.
know that
Well,
all the folks involved would have loved to have continued doing more DuckTales stuff, and there are plenty more stories to tell. That's a Disney corporate question, and that's a
All right.
mess.
There you go. But you can get the book out there if y'all haven't. The Art of DuckTales available at this link.
And also maybe
your screen.
encourage Ken to start watching DuckTales.
I watched DuckTales a little bit. It was, yeah, I know DuckTales issues.
And one of the folks in that DuckTales book is in Superman.
Oh, there you go.
Beck Bennett.
Beck Bennett
played Launchpad in DuckTales.
the most loved SNL cast member behind the scenes apparently in history.
Did you like that? Did you like his characterization of?
I did. Yeah, I enjoyed it.
Sports writer.
Yes, it hit home.
Well, this has been a delight. Thank you very much. This was a surprise. I saw a link earlier. I just saw a StreamYard. I thought you were sending me an article to them raising their price again or something like that. I didn't know it was an invite.
That's fair. That's fair. No, we wanted to celebrate your birthday. Everyone say happy birthday to Mr. Plume. Again, if you got a little extra ducats, you want to do something nice, give him a tip there on the old PayPal tip jar.
I'm going to consider that a pun. That was a gift to me. You saying ducats after we were just talking DuckTales.
DuckTales. There you go. Thank you, Mr. Plume. I'll see you later for some Fortnite.
Thanks. Later.
Bye-bye. All right, Steve, you're there. What a nice gentleman. Do you have any what's your hard, fast theater rules?
Ooh, I get popcorn every time. I can't remember the last time I went to a movie theater and got popcorn, so I have to be. I'm a big popcorn guy. Which was made me again. I was very disappointed when I saw the F1 movie. The first movie I saw in 2 years. The popcorn was stale as hell. We ate like the first inch of it down the bucket. We're like, I can't do this anymore. It's disgusting.
Yeah, I don't get popcorn a lot at theaters. I do love popcorn, but it doesn't go. It's not my favorite theater snack. But we got some at the Superman thing. Like I said, it was free and it was stale. And I was like, I can't complain. But they were just kind of like, give the movie press the bad stuff. So
I paid $12 or whatever it was for that stale popcorn. So, and I didn't want to get up and go do. It was busy that night. I didn't want to stand in line and be like, oh, my popcorn. So I just didn't want to be that guy. I just wanted to watch the movie. So I get my cookie dough bites and I live with it.
There you go. We can get some sports in a second, but are you going to see Superman with your dad?
Okay, so here's the thing. I would love to, Ken. I would love to see Superman with my dad. So the baby shower / sprinkle for my soon to be son is this weekend. And so my dad will be in town. We're in charge of taking care of the dogs, which means we'll just give them food and then go to the bar.
That's fair.
So I was like, okay, well, he wants to go to Topgolf. So my whole thing is like, I need to convince my dad, or if we can fit both the movie and Topgolf together during this whole baby party thing. But I want to convince him to go to Superman. He is an old school Reagan Republican, right. Ken. So I'm thinking that this movie is going to give him, some eye opening in things. And totally, yes, I am nasally. I was sick this week. I'm sorry.
Look, yeah. Yes. But the thing is, I don't. This isn't not one negative thought towards your father. I've never met him.
It's okay.
But usually the Reagan era legacy Republicans, boomers, old Gen X, whatever it might be, I don't think they pick up on that stuff as much. And the movie is overt, but also in a way that you could probably miss it. Because most of them do. Again, this is the crowd. I'm not saying this is your dad, but this is the crowd that's like, you're telling me Springsteen said what? Like, so he might be able just to enjoy it.
Here's the thing. My dad disowned Springsteen like a month ago. So I don't really know, Ken. That's what I'm worried about. That's what. Yeah.
Did you hear what he said? I'm born to run away from the boss, is what I'm doing. Dave McKay's right. Maybe that's why he needs to see this movie. Maybe we'll strike a chord. I hope so.
I don't know.
I hope so.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that's it. That's what to do. That's what to do with your Republican father.
I'm gonna try. The only non-Star Wars. I mean, I dragged my dad to all the sequel Star Wars movies because Star Wars as a kid was like a thing for us. So we went to the sequels together. Other than that, though, Ken, the last movie my dad saw in a movie theater was The Dark Knight.
Oh wow.
So he's not a go to the movies guy. I dragged him to Star Wars, and that was about it. So
it might be worth it. Though I got to tell you what. I tell you. Top Golf, seeing Superman. It might be top golf.
I mean, I could go to I can go see Superman whenever I want. You don't get to play Top Golf with the old man every so often, right?
Yeah, I think that's my vote.
Okay.
For a lot
I appreciate that. Yeah. And then I don't have to have those awkward conversations in the car on the way back from the movie. I don't want to be mad at my dad for like a day and a half. That's not fun. Let's just go play golf.
Because I got one comment on the Superman review I did on Instagram that was like, I don't know, the more I hear about this movie, it sounds like a Hallmark film. This film sounds like it's propaganda. It's like propaganda for what? Kindness? Caring? Empathy? Like what do you think it's trying to say? War bad, billionaires bad? Like, all right, I guess maybe you don't think that's but like it's calling for kindness. And you're like, propaganda. Like,
empathy is woke, Ken.
Empathy is woke. Empathy is a sin. Empathy is a sin. All right, we're going to transition slightly here to the Blathering Sports Desk as we've got a little bit of sports to get to. Then we got a call from Ethan and any other calls while we're still here. But we have 56 days to the NFL kickoff, right, sir?
We're getting so close, Ken. 56 days until the NFL begins. And so since we did this the other day, I'm going to give us a few more things that are around that 56, or actually on that 56-day mark in history. So, Ken, the Donner Party was trapped for 56 days before their first rescue arrived. So if you wonder how long it takes before you start eating people, less than 56 days historically.
It's till the football season. On Thursday nights, opening day, you should be chowing down on your friend. Just cutting up arms and legs.
And according to some study that I didn't actually vet because I don't get paid for this, it takes 56 days to rewire your brain to a new skill or a new habit. So now is the perfect time if you want to convince and torture yourself to be like a Jacksonville Jaguars fan. You have 56 days to like get studied up, get ready for it, just to get depressed by the start of football season.
Just to give up the Dolphins. Like you encouraged me last week.
I didn't say give up on the Dolphins, Ken. I said you guys need to. You're approaching the season like it's a dead duck, dead weight season. That's all.
It is. It is. I like that though. That as a separate conversation. 56 days to rewire your brain. I'm in like 20 days of rewiring my brain for like eating better and really, in a way that I haven't in my life before, even in times when I was in shape. So I'm gonna keep a little note of that and see where I am on day 56.
Let's stick with it.
Though again, tonight I'm having peach cobbler ice cream, and I eat ice cream. I treat ice cream like it's a sport.
You earned it.
I earned it. All right, other things.
My last 56-day thing is so the Cuban Missile Crisis was actually 13 days when we all thought I wasn't there, when the world thought that World War III was going to start and everyone was going to get nuked. But the naval blockade of Cuba itself apparently lasted 56 days, and that's when like the people in the know actually exhaled and were like, okay, I think we're good now. I guess us plebeians thought, after the whole 2 weeks we were good, but really it was like, no, it really took like 56 days before JFK was able to kind of be like, okay, we did it. So,
I think the Cuban Missile Crisis is one of the more, I'll just say, fascinating in that middle-aged white history doc obsessed man way. It's one of the more fascinating little sections of history. It's a little push that either way for absolute disaster. So,
is the Cuban Missile Crisis your Roman Empire, Ken?
No, that's just the Roman Empire. No, what is my Roman Empire? What is my? You know what it might be? It might be from the Civil War to 1912. The setting in of the lost cause mythology, a chance to get America right, and we didn't. The Gilded, like I'm obsessed with that. I think about that a lot, about and how we're in a second one and all that stuff, and the 1950s, because again we had a chance post-war to build a better society. And we did in some ways, but we failed in so many ways. Those are there you go. That was my sport. That was my sport.
There you
Touchdown.
go. But no, other sports stuff. The WNBA is getting me through June and July baseball that I'm not really super interested in. And eventually we're going to do a Blathering Fantasy League here sometime in August. Details TBD.
TBD. Yeah, the Major League Baseball All-Star Game is next week, Tuesday, right? And that used to be
Tuesday.
like one of my favorite sporting events. It's long. Even when I was actively watching baseball more than I do now, and I'm into it, I follow it every day. I got my stack of cards. I'm good, but like the All-Star Game is just such an afterthought to me now. And that and I get some of the reasons why. Same with like the Pro Bowl in the NFL, where it's a skills competition, it's flag football. I get why. And I was never into the Pro Bowl, but the All-Star Game, oof, it kind of hurts me a little bit that I don't love it as much as I used to.
I'm kind of with you on that. The last the last baseball game I attended in person was the All-Star Game that was in DC 5-6 years ago, maybe. Pre-COVID. And my wife is a huge baseball fan. I'm not, I like baseball, but I'm not crazy. She's crazy about baseball the way I'm crazy about football. We try to do something in baseball every year. She's a huge Nats fan. So yeah, I'm with you. I used to love the home run derby as a kid. I was a huge Ken Griffey Jr. guy as a kid. The home run derby was like, that was a religion to watch that in the summer,
Well, the Josh Hamilton one in New York, Yankee Stadium. I was listening to that one on the radio coming home from work. Just favorite memories of that kind of stuff. Yeah, absolutely love that there. I agree with Ranger Donald, and I have a story about Ranger Donald. Ranger Donald says they should just play a softball game. I think the Major League Baseball All-Star Game should just become Rock and Jock softball from MTV's Golden Age. I actually believe that. I want that to be the case. Rock and Jock is missed. My whole goal in life was to be just famous enough to be on Rock and Jock. My dreams have died. Punt the Major League Baseball All-Star Game, and let's make it Rock and Jock. What say you, Steve?
I say if we do that, we still have to put the marbles on the table that whoever wins gets home field advantage in the World Series.
Yes. Sold. Sold. We'll call it the Bud Selig Cup. There you go. Rock and Jock is coming back. Ranger Donald, we'll wrap up sports here. Ranger Donald is, I got to say publicly right now, Ranger Donald is one of my favorite human beings in the world. And he has been watching me for a long time. He's one of the early Twitch watchers when I got into Twitch in 2018. And every once in a while, Ranger Donald sends me some wonderful gifts. I've got a box of baseball cards. He sent me a ton of baseball cards, football cards, basketball cards to open up on my show, Sports Card ASMR. And years ago for GPA, Good People Association, we made a joke about tasty cakes, which are based out of Pennsylvania, I believe, Philly or something like that, right? And he sent us so many boxes of tasty cakes, we asked him to stop. Ranger Donald's the sweetest human being in the world. He's also an evil monster, Steve. I got a box of baseball cards this week from Ranger Donald. I open it up, and inside, 2 boxes of tasty cakes. And here I am. I'm trying so hard. Right?
He smuggled them in with the baseball cards.
Yeah, I'm trying so hard. But you put something like that in front of me, I eat it. I stuff them down my gullet. So I open up both boxes of tasty cakes. One's a little coffee crumb cake with a cream filling. One's like apple razzle dazzle drizzle Twinkie. I ate 2 packages, okay? Which is 2 little things in each one. Steve, I fell asleep unintentionally in a chair. The sugar, I'm not even lying. The sugar crash was so bad. I had to do some writing, and I sat down, and next thing you know, I woke up, there was a video playing. I was sweating. The fan was going. I was like, what happened? Ranger Donald, you almost killed me.
Oh man, no, the sugar coma will get you. I've done that, Ken. No, my thing is I'll be sitting here at my desk, like I'll be done playing games with the boys like late at night, and I always try to give myself like 10, 15, 20 minutes of cool down time just to myself before I go to bed, right?
Yeah.
My vice, Ken, is peanut M&Ms. Okay,
cool,
that is my nicotine, right? Since I stopped using nicotine and tobacco, peanut M&Ms became my vice. Yeah. And so my wife always has like a little jar in the kitchen stocked with peanut M&Ms, but she knows to ration it, so she doesn't fill up the jar. Right. She rations it to an appropriate level. So like, okay, if Steve grabs us late at night and is just gonna it's okay to eat this much, right? So my thing is I get the peanut jar, I kind of just sit back, I watch something on YouTube, and then I just sleep eat. Like I'm falling asleep as I am putting peanut M&Ms in my mouth. It's not good, dude. It is not good.
Please, anyone out in the audience who sleep eats, share your stories. All right,
Please tell me I'm not alone.
From football to peanut M&Ms, that was Blathering Sports Desk tonight. We got a couple, at least one call to get to. I'm looking forward to hearing from Ethan. If you want to call into the show, there's a way to do that. If you don't already know, you can. Where the hell is it? You all know how to do it. YouTube channel members get to call in. Patreon supporters get to call in. Patreon.com/Napzok. Don't forget, also on Patreon right now, I do have, and I think tomorrow is the second episode. That is right. I have been going to the comedy archives, sharing some sketches from my comedy past during my time over at the Groundlings Theater and Training School over there. Each episode has the sketches and then a second video with commentary from me taking you through the whole thing, the good, the bad, and the very bad, but also some fun stuff in there as well. So this episode's up this week from the first show, advanced show. There's Kristen Wiig and Tim Blaney on the screen with me there. And then the other one out tomorrow, big reveal. You get to find out the secrets behind this moment in a sketch with Mikey Day and Kristen Wiig there. So that's all on my Patreon page at patreon.com/CatNapzok. All right. Are you ready to close this out with some great calls?
Let's do it. So we got Ethan coming up next.
We got Ethan Osvetnik1138. Ethan, you're here, buddy. Good to hear from you, my friend.
Hey, thank you. So I've got a question for you tonight. I want to hear Steve's answer as well as everybody in chat.
Love it.
So Superman obviously is a big topic of discussion at the moment with the movie coming out. My question for you is a question that has been a major discussion in comic books for a long time. Who is better, Superman or Batman?
Who is better, Superman or Batman? This is the age-old question. For most
now,
of
to
my...
to be clear, I'm not asking who would win in a fight.
Right.
Because, frankly, I don't think they should be fighting. So that is not the question.
Get along.
Who is better?
Get along.
Is this the LeBron v. Jordan of comic book fights?
Yeah, it could be. Could be. My whole life, as I've said many times, so I don't want to repeat it, but it's also context for the answer. I wasn't a superhero kid. I grew up more with Star Wars, G.I. Joe, Transformers. That was the side of the world I played in. And yes, Kingsport Cal, Robotech. But I would always say Batman's my favorite. I'd always say the reason I like Batman is he was just kind of normal. He was a human who chose to do things. And the Bruce Wayne character I thought was a little more interesting. I think that's still kind of true with me. However, the James Gunn Superman, no spoilers for anyone who hasn't seen it. I think it's kind of changed my view a little bit. I still think I love Batman. I still love the Nolan Batmans. Still like Adam West's Batman. I just think we have explored that story enough for these times. I know more may be coming because there always are, and we might get more of the Matt Reeves. Blah blah blah. It doesn't matter to me. But I think for the time we're in and the time I'm in my life, I was absolutely moved by Superman and the story of Superman this time out than any Batman story previously. So that fuels my answer right now. It's a little bit of in between. I can go either way, Svetnik, but I think for right now it's Superman for me.
Yeah, I've gone through a similar kind of journey with that. So when I was a kid, it was all Batman all the time. I grew up with the animated series, Kevin Conroy's Batman, to me.
Right.
Like you just said, loved the Dark Knight movies, loved all the comics and all of that. But as I've gotten older and kind of as I became a dad, I kind of started to feel like, what, Batman is cool, but I don't necessarily want to be Batman. I want to be like Superman. He's aspirational in that way.
I think that's a great way to look at it. Which again, this isn't an episode of Movie Fight, so we're not taking away from Batman here.
Oh, absolutely not. He's awesome.
Yeah, no. I agree. Yeah, but I think you're touching on something. I think you're putting into words, Ethan, what I might be feeling or might have felt coming out of that movie, where that was more like, yeah, do I want to be a rich, moody billionaire who dons a bat suit at night? Sure, who hasn't wanted to be that? But I can be Superman in my own life with kindness, caring, and empathy. And I really believe that. And it sounds cheesy. And that person who commented on my review, what is this, a Hallmark movie? Yeah, maybe it is, because maybe the world needs that right now. And that's kind of where I'm at. So I really love your words, Ethan.
Yeah, exactly. Anybody can be like Superman. I feel like, just like you say, kindness, man. Kindness,
man. Steve, your thoughts on this? And now I've set it up in such a way, Steve, that if you don't answer Superman, we might think you of somewhat of a jerk.
Okay, well, damn, I really thought I was having like a hot take with my idea here, Ken, but now you totally just hit that right in the knees. No, Ken, when we say eat the rich, we mean it, damn it. Superman all the way. No, don't get me wrong. Bruce Wayne deserves the credit for being a billionaire and doing the right thing, unlike pretty much every other billionaire except Jeff Bezos' ex-wife.
Right.
So,
right. And on some days, Mark Cuban. Some days, not all the days.
Some days. Yeah, cheap drugs are good though. We'll give him that.
Yeah, that's good. Cost plus drugs.
I'm not a Mavericks fan though. I don't like the Mavericks. Anyway,
that's true. But he sold the team. Anyways, continue.
Yeah. Anyway, don't give me Superman. Again, they're not like the fight thing, but he has that much power and could be literally God over a planet, and he chooses to do the nice thing. Whereas Bruce Wayne is like the more humanized version of that and chooses to do the right thing. I think Superman is just like an elevated level of that morality in a way. And the dude he's an alien who can only be harmed by an off-world like element. As long as he doesn't go crazy, you're good to go with Superman.
Good to go. Ken Plume, our birthday boy, says, Superman is not about power, it's about choosing to do what's decent. Absolutely is. Alan Smithy says,
Ken Plume has the right thing to say.
It's the right thing to say, indeed. Alan Smithy says Ghostbusters. The Ghostbusters are my favorite superheroes. That's because Alan Smithy hates the EPA. That's what it is. That's what it is. Okay. Thank you, Ethan. I think this is a great conversation for what's going on right now, both in theaters and the world. Let's all be Superman.
Let's be Superman. Have a great night, Ken.
Thanks, Ethan. Great call. That's a home run of a call there. We are almost at the end of the program. I'm so excited, Steve. I can't lie. I'm really excited about the ice cream I'm going to have in a bit.
What did you? I'm sorry. Did you say already what flavor it was?
Peach cobbler.
Peach cobbler.
Yeah.
Okay.
And the other night, the first one I had was a banana pudding with little crushed up Nilla wafers in it.
Ooh. Do you add anything with your ice cream? Do you dress it up at all? A little chocolate syrup, nothing like that? No.
Really? I open it up. I don't even put it into a bowl, Steve. I grab a napkin and I hold it like this, like that's how I hold it, and I just eat it until I hit the bottom of the carton.
Attaboy.
That's how you do it.
I'm looking forward to that for you. That's making me want a snack. I don't have any ice cream, I don't think, though, so we'll have to see what I got.
I deserve it, damn it.
Scrumge up.
All right. Well, we're packing up here. We're getting ready to go. There'll be show Saturday with me, Steve. It sounds like you're going to be at a baby sprinkle and golfing. Yeah. So
I'm out Saturday, but you guys have fun.
We're going to do an hour of calls on Saturday, 4 p.m. Pacific. So swing on here, get a call in, get some questions in. It'll be a lot of fun. Or, hopefully all of you can get on out there and see Superman. Take your loved ones. Take your Republican dad. Let's just see it. Let's just have the conversation. Dad, what did you think about the policies put forth in the Superman picture? Do that. Going to be a lot of fun. Thank you all who support on Patreon. Don't forget you get also a Monday morning show. The video version is on Patreon and here on the YouTube channel. I appreciate you all. Appreciate you, Steve. Also, Steve and I put together some clips coming out. One's already out today of Blathering mini episodes, the mini-sodes. And you all contributed questions. More on the way. And I need more questions. So get to those posts and put down your questions. You can see how they kind of work. Quick, snappy questions. Get quick, snappy answers. That is it for now. Steve, thank you, my friend. Good night, everybody. Bye.